Picture this. According to Lending Club's 2023 survey, 1/3 of people earning over $200,000 a year still live paycheck to paycheck. That's right. These are folks making $16,000 a month. Yet they're facing the same daily money worries as someone on minimum wage. If you've ever thought, once I earn more, my money problems will disappear, you could be on the road to a big surprise. Why do two people with identical careers, salaries, and degrees end up in totally different financial universes? And more importantly, what are the 3 habits that set aside those who build real wealth from those who never seem to get ahead no matter what they earn? Stick with me and I'll break down the surprisingly simple steps you can use starting this week to change your money future, all with real numbers and proven strategies you can actually apply. Imagine 2 college roommates. Let's call them Alex and Jordan, who both graduate with business degrees, get hired at the same company, earn exactly $75,000 a year, and move to a city where the cost of living is identical for both. Fast forward just 20 years, and Alex is relaxing on a sun-soaked beach, already financially free, while Jordan is still in the daily grind, confused and frustrated, asking themselves, how did all that hard work not add up to wealth? How does life take 2 people with identical starting points and send them to completely separate financial destinations? The answer isn't luck, and it isn't some secret Wall Street algorithm. It's about choices, habits, mindsets, and a framework that anyone, including you, can start applying today. First, let's ground ourselves with a staggering reality. According to a Lending Club report from 2023, 1 out of every 3 people making over $200,000 per year, yes, $16,000 a month, admit they are living paycheck to paycheck. If you're making what you thought was good money, but still feel stuck at the end of each month, you are absolutely not alone. Drop a me in the comments if that feels uncomfortably familiar. Let's see how many of us are fighting that same battle together. Now you might be thinking, well, those high earners must just make terrible money decisions. And you'd be partly right. But here's the twist most people miss. The habits that keep someone broke at $200,000 a year are often exactly the same habits that keep someone broke at $50,000. The only difference, the size of the numbers. Imagine you're struggling to manage $1,000. Jumping to $10,000 won't help unless you change your approach. Money doesn't make you smarter about money. In many cases, more money simply magnifies your existing habits, for better or worse. Earning more only multiplies the habits you already have, good or bad. Screenshot that quote and tag Money Masters. Let's spread some truth instead of toxic myths about wealth. So, what mistakes split the financially secure from the financially stressed? Here's how you identify the traps and the 3 proven habits that consistently build wealth. I encourage you to grab a notepad, take some notes, or simply bookmark this for later. And if this is landing for you so far, hit that like button to tell YouTube this is content that needs to reach more people like you. First, let's break down the 3 wealth-killing mistakes that quietly drain your future. And be honest, you'll probably spot yourself in 1 or 2 of these scenarios. Mistake number 1, lifestyle inflation. This is the sneaky trap that swallows raises, bonuses, tax refunds, any bump in income, and turns it into a bigger apartment, fancier car, or an endless row of subscription services. For example, you go from $50,000 to $60,000 a year, which might put an extra $850 in your pocket each month after taxes. Instead of building wealth, that $850 disappears as your lifestyle upgrades. Suddenly, your apartment costs more, your car payment jumps, and those small perks become non-negotiable monthly habits. Within months, the extra cash vanishes and you're right back to living paycheck to paycheck. Except now, your expenses have ballooned right with your income. It's like running on a treadmill that speeds up every time you get ahead. You're working harder, but you're not actually moving forward. This cycle repeats at every income level. The $30,000 earner believes $50,000 will solve their problems. The $50,000 earner pins hope on $75,000. And those at $75,000 eye 6 figures as their final safe haven. But at every step, The spending matches or sometimes exceeds the pay raise. Every time your spending rises with your income, your future self pays the price. If you've ever gotten a raise but still felt strapped, type raise regret below. Let's see how common this really is. Here's a real-world mini-case. One of my viewers, whom I'll call Rachel, increased her salary from $40,000 to $120,000 in under 5 years. A huge leap. But by the end of that run, Rachel felt more anxious and less free than ever. Why? She'd leased a luxury car, moved to a downtown loft, picked up high-end fitness memberships, and took frequent weekend trips. Her cost of living kept pace with her pay, and by year 5, she was just as stressed as before. Only at a higher income. She called it lifestyle lock-in. I call it the golden handcuffs. Every big step forward tied to another new obligation that makes future risks or career pivots scarier than ever. Meanwhile, another subscriber, Dave, used his raises to make only minor upgrades. With intention. He didn't keep living like he earned $40,000, but he didn't swing radically. Instead, he banked every raise, consistently investing the difference. Over a few years, Dave built a 6-figure cushion and had enough so that when his company offered a generous buyout package, he took it and started a business, his secret. He avoided the treadmill trap of lifestyle inflation. Mistake number 2, debt as a default. Debt isn't just about credit cards. Though those can absolutely wreck a balance sheet with typical interest rates hovering at 20% or more, it's about normalizing debt. The car payment, the student loan, the little personal loan from years ago. Let's say you're making $75,000 a year. You've got a $400 monthly car payment, $200 in credit card minimums, plus student loans or an aging line of credit. Imagine sending over $800 a month, nearly $10,000 a year, straight to lenders before you even get to think about investing or saving. But it gets worse than just those payments. Carrying debt changes how you see every money decision. Instead of focusing on the future, you're constantly fighting yesterday's battles, paying off charges, dodging interest, and closing budget holes. Even bonuses or windfalls vanish. If you get a $5,000 bonus and you owe on a credit card with 20% interest, your best move is to pay down that debt. That nets you a 20% guaranteed return, just to get back to even. Meanwhile, someone without debt could invest that same $5,000 and let it grow to over $10,000 in just 10 years if the market averages 7% returns. Source for average returns, Jason P. Morgan Asset Management 2023. Every debt dollar you carry isn't just lost to interest, it's lost to opportunity. It can even cost you your sense of freedom and control. And it keeps you from taking calculated risks with your career, starting a business, or investing aggressively. Mistake number 3, flying blind. Also known as zero financial visibility, most people have no idea where their money goes. You might know your salary and rent, but can you list what you spent on food last month? What about all your subscriptions, the recurring Amazon orders, or random entertainment splurges? Without a good tracking system, your money leaks out through 1,000 tiny holes. $5 here for coffee, $15 for lunch, $50 for dinner out. A new streaming service, a $30 gadget. Each feels small, but in aggregate, they add up to thousands a year in unconscious spending. This is the classic death by 1,000 cuts. Curious how much you truly spend in a month? I made a simple spending tracker in Google Sheets. Grab your free copy in the description and start tracking right now. Here's a mini tool demo. Pull up a budget app like Mint. You need a budget. Or use that free Google Sheet and plug in your expenses for last month. You'll see your biggest leaks instantly. Often they're subscriptions or daily habits that no longer bring any real happiness. Once you have visibility, you shift from flow decisions, going with the financial current, to friction decisions, adding a moment of pause before every purchase, asking, does this get me closer to my goals? Just tracking your spending, according to a recent Study can free up hundreds or even thousands of dollars a month by simply making you aware of where it's going. Source: MIT, Sloan, 2022. If you find this helpful, screenshot your filled-out tracker and tag our Money Masters community for a chance to be featured. Here's where it gets more profound. All three of these mistakes: lifestyle inflation, normalized debt, and lack of awareness, are rooted in psychology, not simple math. People with a scarcity mindset are more likely to chase comfort now and fear missing out, spending emotionally and viewing money as something to survive rather than something to direct and grow. If you're motivated by fear, the fear of missing a deal, missing out on experiences, or missing social status, money feels like water running through your hands. You can't hold on to it, so you let it move through your life as quickly as it arrives. But flip that script, and everything changes. Let's move into the 3 wealth-building habits. The framework I've seen work for my Money Masters community, friends, and coaching clients over and over again. These are straightforward principles, but you have to actually live them. Ready? Habit number 1, time arbitrage, turning time into your ally. This means you proactively invest as early as possible, because money today simply grows faster than money tomorrow. And not just because of inflation, but because of the multiplier effect of compound growth. Let's break down the classic example. 2 women, Sarah and Jessica, each earn $75,000 per year. Sarah starts at 25, investing $3,000 each year for just 10 years. The total she invests is $30,000. After age 35, she stops entirely. Jessica waits until age 35, then starts investing $6,000 a year for 30 years. A total of $180,000 invested. At age 65, Sarah, who stopped after 10 years, has more money, even though Jessica invested 6 times as much. Thanks to the decades of compounding that Sarah's early start enjoyed. You can check the math for yourself using any free compound interest calculator online, like investor.gov's, assuming a 7% average return. Based on historical S&P 500 returns, source, NSIW, Stern 2023, Sarah's stash outpaces Jessica's, despite the huge difference in dollar contributions. It's not theory, it's math. But here's what's wild. Most people know this intellectually, but still delay. Comment below with your number 1 money habit you wish you started sooner. Let's help others avoid those regret traps. Habit number 2, pay yourself first. This is the single most repeatable habit among all my financially free subscribers. Instead of spending throughout the month and saving whatever scraps are left, you flip the order. The moment you get paid, funnel a set percentage straight into savings and investments, before a single bill or purchase gets paid. For example, if you take home $5,000 per month, divert $1,000, 20%, to your investment accounts and savings right away. Now you're living on $4,000, a budget that adapts to your priorities, not the other way around. This rewires how you experience scarcity. Your goals come first, your daily spending gets creative, and you automate the most important wealth habit. This is super easy to automate in apps like Fidelity, Vanguard, or even with most modern payroll systems. Just set up automatic transfers the day you get paid. Here's a mini tool demo. If you use a budgeting app like You Need a Budget, you can set savings as your number 1 category. Allocate funds as soon as your paycheck hits, so you only ever see what's truly left to spend. It's a system, not willpower. Want a printable version of these wealth-building steps? Download my free checklist, link in the description. Stick it somewhere visible for a daily reminder. Mini case. Lila, a Money Masters subscriber, sent me her story. Once she automated her savings to hit her Roth IRA. Every month, she stopped worrying about spending too much. The growth just happened, and a year later, she had her first $10,000 invested and working for her. If you want to be featured in an upcoming video, tag me with your own win habit number 3. Focus on assets over liabilities. I know. Assets versus liabilities sounds like a boring accounting class. But here's the deal breaker. An asset puts money in your pocket over time. A liability takes money out. The wealthy grow obsessed with collecting more of the first, less of the second. The average person does just the opposite. Here's a pair of examples. First, the classic car conundrum. Person A buys a brand new $40,000 vehicle with a loan. Not only does that mean a monthly payment, let's say $600, higher insurance, regular maintenance. It also means the car drops in value by 20 to 30% the moment they drive off the lot. Person B buys a solid used car for $10,000 cash. Instead of making $600 payments, B invests that same $600 monthly into the stock market. In 7 years, while A has a 7-year-old car scarcely worth $15,000, B owns a reliable ride plus a portfolio likely worth over $60,000, assuming 7% annual returns. The cost of looking successful is 7 years of lost compound growth. The same mindset applies to every purchase. Before dropping cash on anything big, ask, will this put money in my pocket or take it out? If it's a liability, is there a smarter way to get the value with less damage? Or can you redirect some of that money into assets that actually grow? Second example. Let's talk home electronics, because I know tech temptations are real. You love gadgets, and you're eyeing that huge $3,000 TV, buying it brand new. In 5 years, it'll probably be worth less than $800. But if you invest the same $3,000 in the companies that make those TV, or the streaming platforms everyone's addicted to, you could end up with $4,000 or more in portfolio value after 5 years, plus possible dividends, assuming market averages. Now, I'm not anti-TV or anti-lifestyle upgrades. The difference is intentionality. Buy what brings genuine value, but always look for the asset play. Find ways your money can work for you, not just for the companies selling you stuff. Same goes for every major purchase. Delay gratification. Find deals and invest the difference. Once you see through this lens, every dollar becomes a soldier, either fighting for or against your financial independence. Here's a pattern break, Let's make this actionable right now. Pause the video, take 2 minutes, and jot down your last 3 big purchases for each. Ask, asset or liability. Could you have invested half or found a cheaper alternative for the same benefit? Share your insight in the comments using #AssetAudit. I'll highlight the best examples in an upcoming Money Masters episode. These 3 habits: time arbitrage, paying yourself first, and asset focus spark what I call a wealth feedback loop. The more assets you buy, the more income you generate. And what once seemed slow begins compounding rapidly. This is how an ordinary income, with ordinary discipline, leads to extraordinary results. But remember, it starts slow. It feels boring at first. Most overnight successes are just 10 years of consistency you didn't notice. Let's review and set you up for immediate progress. Grab the free checklist and expense tracker in the description. Automate your savings to hit investment accounts the day you're paid. Download a free budget app or use my Google Sheet to track every expense for the next week. And most importantly, reflect on the last year. Where has your time and money gone? Where can you direct it next to build the life you want? This isn't financial advice. It's education and proven frameworks. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Every situation is different, and you should talk to a trusted professional about your investments and goals. But I'll leave you with this. The difference between sipping margaritas on the beach at 45 and grinding at 65 isn't your starting salary, your family background, or even the size of your wins. It's about daily, seemingly ordinary choices. Avoiding lifestyle inflation, managing debt, tracking your money, and building assets with every dollar you can spare. When you make these behaviors part of your identity, you set off a wealth-building chain reaction. Your future self is counting on what you choose today. Let's wrap up with your next steps and a clear action plan. First, remember the 3 invisible money traps. lifestyle inflation, debt dependency, and flying blind with no idea where your money goes. Recognize which one is affecting you the most right now. Then, use the wealth-building triangle. 1. Automate your savings and investments with the Pay Yourself First system, using payroll or your favorite app. 2. Give every dollar a job by tracking your spending. Grab the free Google Sheets tracker or download an app right now. And 3. Before your next big purchase, pause and ask, is this building my net worth or shrinking it? For immediate progress, take the 7-Day Financial Reset Challenge this week. Track every dollar you spend for 7 days. No exceptions and no judgment. At the end, comment below with your biggest surprise or lesson. You'll start feeling more control. And many of my subscribers have discovered $300 or more a month they didn't know they were losing. Imagine that over a year, or 10 years. Download the checklist and expense tracker below for daily reminders and easy wins. The results won't happen overnight, but in just 1 month, you'll notice more breathing rooms. Your money working for you, not against you. By year's end, you'll have a year's worth of proof that these habits add up. Ready for the next step? Subscribe to Money Masters, turn on notifications, and check out my next episode where I'll break down, step by step, how to choose the right index funds for your goals, returns, risks, and what to actually avoid. Want to help our community grow? Like and share this episode with someone else ready to break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Comment below with your top money lesson from today's video, or what you're most excited to try. And don't forget, take the 7-day reset, track every cent, and post your aha moment for a chance to be featured next week. Remember, this is not financial advice, just educational content to help you build better habits. Always consult a licensed professional for your personal investment decisions. And never invest money you can't afford to lose. I'll see you soon with more actionable strategies. Your future self will thank you.